A flotilla of spectator boats and a huge crowd in Marina Lanzarote witnessed the start of the 2023 RORC Transatlantic Race, which is supported by Calero Marinas, the International Maxi Association, and the Yacht Club de France. In glorious conditions, the fleet got away to a clean downwind start, a mile from Marina Lanzarote. This is the weekly sailing highlights show the January 13, 2023 World on Water. Meanwhile, in Alicante, Spain, the first part of this edition of the Ocean Race was the import race. There are two classes of boats competing, and they are not racing against each other. So there was two separate races, the first for the IMOCAs, then, on a fading breeze, the old VO65s. We have a clip from the 11th hour's racing team in the first race.
We're here in Alicante, Spain. It is the import race, the beginning, the first actual day of racing in the ocean race, a day we've been looking forward to for the last 3.5 years, and we're really excited to get going.
Yeah, ready to go. For sure, it was not expected for me to start today, but no, happy to go, and it's just the start of the race. I think the important bit for sure is going to be the start of the first leg, but it's important to do well in the import race as well, so we'll try to have a good result today.
Goals for the import. I think number one, preserve the assets. We're not going to win the ocean race today, but we could lose it, so it's going to be exciting. There's going to be helicopters up and it's going to get loud and noisy.
No, it's obviously a shame that Charlie's not here, but thanks to the depth of the squad that we've got, we're in a good place to go out and have a good race today.
Yeah, pretty entertaining. Very fickle up and down breeze for the whole day. Had a corker of a start, which was really cool. And then, just the nature of the course sort of ended up in a position where we couldn't jibe, and then, basically the other boats would have crashed into us. So we ended up dead last, which was a bit frustrating, but, recovered back to second overall and super happy with that. And that was, the whole game of this is how well you can recover from those situations, because you will end up in those situations. So super happy, everyone worked fantastic on board, and yeah, stoked to get the real thing going next weekend. But yeah, it's just awesome to be here and awesome to be into it.
One of the boats fighting for the lead in the transatlantic race is Giovanni Soldini in his Maserati Mod 70 trimaran racing machine. Here is his exit from Lanzarote.
Ma direi che sì, per una volta sembra che il percorso della transatlantica sia abbastanza classico, e quindi con un'alta pressione ben stabilita appena nord-ovest di Lanzarote, che ci darà un bel aliseo, speriamo, fino all'arrivo, quindi siamo tutti contenti, perché sarà una regata in poppa, veloce, dove sicuramente ci sarà da divertirsi. I nostri concorrenti sono super agguerriti, c'è Loic su Zulu che è l'ex Power Play e c'è Brian su quello che una volta era Fedo, oggi si chiama Snowflakes. Ovviamente sono equipaggi di super professionisti che raramente sbagliano qualche scelta e quindi sarà super combattuta e vedremo la fine.
2 minuti e 30. Da 20 metri perpendicolare. 20 metri dalla linea perpendicolarmente.
In the America's Cup testing arena, Ineos Britannia's T6 boat is now in full action mode in Palma. Helmsman Lee Macmillan was at the wheel on day 7. Here is his summary.
Lee Macmillan, you were on the starboard side helming today out on Palma Bay. It looked like a really good day, bit of a slow start. There was a problem with the mainsail hoist.
Yeah, we had a bit of an issue with the main halyard on the first hoist. So we had to send someone up the rig and it took quite a while to sort it out. We're a bit nervous about losing the day at that point. But the guys did a great job getting it sorted and got it on the lock and thankfully the wind held off for us. So yeah, it's turned out to be a really nice day.
Yeah, lots of foiling, and we'll talk about that in a sec. What were the goals this morning for the team when you went out there? Are you still debugging the boat?
A little bit, yeah. It was still, just kind of making sure everything's as it should be. So, still ticking a few of those boxes, but certainly, kind of letting it go a little bit more. Not by day, but as the hours go, kind of really, kind of all the shackles are coming off. So, starting to get some good time on the boat, which is nice.
I guess it's confidence as well in the systems in the boat as well. You can push a bit harder.
Exactly, yeah. Getting confidence in everything, and that it all is working how it should be, and we'll continue just kind of putting it through the gears as the days go by. It's nice to kind of start off the year, like that, and get the ball fully rolling.
Your first time helming, I think, on that boat. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. It's my first day, with sails up on the boat. So yeah, it's nice to get behind the which way wheel and kind of give it a bit of a push. And
how was it?
Yeah, it was good. It was the boat felt really nice, and yeah, looking forward to getting some good hours under the belt now that the things are the vessel's starting to work nicely.
Yeah, we saw a lot of foiling today. I think nearly 45 miles around the bay. You made the bay look pretty small at those speeds. Did you know anything about top speeds today?
Mid to high 30s, yeah. Kind of on one of the downwinds, but yeah, again, it wasn't a huge amount of breeze, and it got a little bit patchy along the coast there. So, and then a little bit further offshore is a bit wavier, so we're kind of finding that middle ground just to, you know, still find some nice conditions, and yeah, so it was a really positive day for everyone, and it was good to be out there.
And what can you tell us about the amount of data you gathered today? You must have sucked in some good data from all of your sensors.
Yeah, I mean, with any cut boat, I think, you know, there's always too much to trawl through, so there's going to be plenty of data for the guys to look through, and yeah, it's just from here on in, it's learning as much as we possibly can to build into the race boat.
That's great. Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
Here is our edited version of last Sunday's The Ocean Race IMOCA Import Race in Alicante. Team Malaysia, Germany, won the import race after a frenetic battle that saw 4 of the 5 IMOCAs hold the lead at some point during a highly unpredictable and nerve-wracking contest.
Final approach into the start line here for the 5 IMOCA teams, and right now there is a battle going on between Biotherm and Team Militia. Team Militia being the windward boat, having to keep clear and putting the bow up, and with 15 seconds to go, Biotherm looks set to actually push Team Militia out. In fact, Team Militia keeping themselves up here. The German team, knowing that the rules are not on their side, they're going to have to go in behind, so it looks set to be a great start here for Paul Meyer and Biotherm. The French team coming off really well. 11th hour racing team off the middle of the line to leeward. Guyot Environment Team Europe getting the next best start in 4th place down at the pin, and then Team Holcim PRB at the moment chasing in 5th. The speeds are there. We have got 21 knots on Biotherm right now with Team Holcim PRB, 18.5 knots. They are trying to get over to the windward side of Guyot Environment Team Europe, who are holding them off for the moment. These two teams are trying to come in on the leeward side. First turning mark, it's going to be a left-hand turn and then onto a very short downwind leg. And Biotherm had the lead. 11th hour racing team now with that different head sail choice has found their way through, and they found their way through with ease. They are going to be the boat that rounds without having to avoid anybody else and being able to pick that line. A big ease on the head sail to get themselves around. But the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th is between Biotherm, Team Holcim PRB and Guyot Environment Team Europe. Now we've got Biotherm putting the bow down. Team Holcim PRB trying to find the right line to get the bow up and going. We were worried that we weren't going to have the breeze to get the best out of these IMOCAs, but the sailors have found it, and potentially we could see some real flying action. The foils for Team Holcim PRB just starting to dig into the water, and they are going to be crucial for this high-powered reach as the boat starts coming up. Is this going to be a chance to get these IMOCAs flying?
We can see that they've still got their windward foils out, but the boats are heeling enough so the foil is not dragging the water. So they've made that choice to not waste energy moving a foil up or down. And yeah, we can start to see the bow of Holcim lifting out the water in the top of the keel coming. So that's a really great point of sail. They're not flying too high. They're just optimizing the position of the boat just above the surface of the water.
Let's go to the front here, because Team Holcim PRB now finishing off that long reach at the bottom, and you can see both of those foils deployed and in the water, and that's the penalty for keeping them in that ready to go position.
Yeah, I think the whole fleet have decided that's the option. I think everyone's got their windward foil out, and Holcim PRB furling up their masthead to go upwind on the J2 for this short upwind leg, which means that the breeze must be nicely above 12 knots for them to use the J2, and I guess taking a little bit of the example at 11 hour sailed so well that first leg on their J2.
Well, when we started this upwind leg, it was Team Holcim PRB that was in the lead. Then Guyot Environment Team Europe looked good, but look at this Team Militia. The mark that you can see at the bottom of your picture with the white cube on top, that is where they are heading. And in a few moments, we expect these teams to tack, but as that breeze has shifted, Team Militia were in the best position to get rotated into first place down there. And as we cut to the helicopter, you can see how strong their position is. Team Militia, that bottom right-hand boat with that big bow carrying all that pressure. But look at this, we're seeing boats parking up here. 11th hour racing team To the right-hand side of picture, to leeward of Team Militia, and this should be the high-powered reaching leg, and they're certainly doing some good speeds. I mean, we're seeing 9-10 knots at times, but the angle with that wind shift not quite right for foiling now. Team Militia, I mean, they've got to be in a stronger position. But at the moment, the only thing that's making a difference is the positioning and the breeze. It is hitting Team Militia first, and 11th Hour Racing Team are only getting the leftovers. So we have now concluded lap 1, second lap to go, and we are about halfway down this top reach, back to that first mark for the second time. Just as we pan up on the helicopter shot, in the distance is Team Holcim PRB. They are a long way back. Biotherm at the moment in third place, and this is the view from 11th Hour Racing Team, if indeed you needed any confirmation as to just how tight that battle for second and third is. Let's have a listen in.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
This is going to be a crucial jibe. This could be their last opportunity to attack here. So Biotherm in third place, setting up for a maneuver. Second place, it's 11th Hour Racing Team holding on, and they look set to follow the line of first place Team Militia a little way ahead, who have already jibed and now heading off to the finish. Little intricacies, little differences as the designers and the sailors have decided to follow different ways, but right now for Team Militia, they are coming in to this finish line. We have got about 300 meters to go before Team Militia and their boat Sea Explorer crosses the finish line, taking the top 5 points. They weren't looking the strongest in the early stages of the race, but they found their opportunity to attack and make their way through, and they've been able to hold on to their speed. The big story, Team Militia and their performance in this second lap. This is probably a very good story about calm nerves, working hard, waiting for the opportunity. And as you were saying earlier, Sam, it's not just about boat speed, it's maneuvering and knowing where to be for the breeze. So we've had a little bit of everything today. Some speeds, 20 knots off the line, even some hint at foiling. But the race here in Alicante, in the late hours in the afternoon as the sun come down, the breeze went down with it. But Team Militia holding their nerve, finding those patches of wind to link together.
The 2023 Melges 15 Winter Series got underway on January 7th in Jensen Beach, Florida. Hosted by In barely a breath of wind, Wind Whisper Racing Team ghosted across the finishing line the VO65 import race Alicante by a comfortable margin. The other 5 boats failed to finish inside the 15-minute time limit, which started ticking the moment Wind Whisper had slipped across the finish line. The VO65s are contesting only a small number of legs in the race, as the IMOCAs are going the full way around the world with stops.
Racing underway here in Alicante, and a very good start for 4 of our VO65s. No surprise to see Mirpuri Foundation Racing Team in the mix. Viva Mexico, Ambersail 2 and Wind Whisperer Racing Team all coming off the line well. And Sam, interesting here, we've got a little bit of a difference in the way these boats are set up.
Yes, it's quite interesting, and you can see that Mirpuri got the best start, and they were brave, maybe is the right word, enough to go straight onto their masthead 0, not use the J1, which is a little bit more manoeuvrable before the start, and that's enabled them to get, I guess, the flying fastest start, and they're already hoisting their staysail, so obviously the practice or preparation is paying off.
Well, we're on board at the moment with Team Yayo. Now, this is a boat that right now did not get a very good start. They are to windward of Mirpuri Foundation Racing Team. You can see from the view on board. So they got a little bit of work to do. However, Sam, from this windward position, they might have an advantage from those boats that started near the pin.
I think that's the low-risk start option. If you're not sure you're going to get the best start, obviously if you're up to windward, you're not going to get the wind shadow from the other boats. And it's obviously quite a long reaching leg to the first mark, and there's nowhere to get out or make any gains. There's no manoeuvres to do. It's just a drag race. So basically, the ones to leeward have really got to hold that advantage forwards to keep out of the wind shadow.
Mark 1 in the import race for the VO65 Sprint Cup, and Wind Whisperer Racing Team have held that position that they took from the start line. They have a lead, but it is narrow, and they are under pressure from Mirpuri Foundation Racing Team to windward and Ambersail 2. Approaching that windward mark now, Wind Whisperer Racing Team coming through. They've been able to hold off the Portuguese to windward. Mirpuri Foundation Racing Team will be above. They will have the best breeze, and you can see the Polish team with the red hull just having to pinch to get round the mark, trying to widen their turn. How much of an attacking position that will be for Mirpuri Foundation Racing Team, we will have to see. And a little bit of a moment there, hesitation. They weren't too sure which side to attack.
Yeah, and it looks like it's pretty close. The boat's just behind as well. There's obviously some rules involved in getting the inside round the mark. Yayo looks like they made a good gain on that, just that last approach to the mark. And we can see that they haven't changed sails. So in terms of crew work, it's the wind strength has made it their lives easy on board, and they're now doing this downwind leg with the same masthead 0, which makes it a bit simpler for them.
Well, look at that. That's the view from Wind Whisperer Racing Team, looking straight up at the direction of where the wind is coming from, and you want that to be a clear view. And unfortunately for them, Mirpuri Foundation Racing Team sitting directly on top of them. Team Yayo as well, but Wind Whisperer Racing Team looks set to have got a nice line on the approach to this bottom mark, Mark 2. Mirpuri Foundation Racing Team looks to be a little bit high here. So as we pull out and just show the geography, I think that the Polish team here in first place, they were vulnerable, but they seem to have played it well.
Yeah, I think Axel will be breathing a sigh of relief of his jibe leyline call. Yeah, I don't think Mirpuri really could have done anything better either. They did the best job as an attacking boat. You can hope that maybe you get that little gust that will help you soak down and make them up. So good job by them.
Leading off the line, leading round Mark 1, and now for Wind Whisperer Racing Team leading round Mark 2 as well. They have held off a very valiant fight for the lead from Mirpuri Foundation Racing Team, but the Polish team go on to the long bottom reaching leg, still in first place.
And this might now be a little bit slow for Mirpuri, because they're going to have to soak down to that mark, and that might increase the lead for Wind Whisperer.
You can't really hold them against them, because Wind Whisperer Racing Team did a great job there, and I'm sure Merpuri Foundation, they felt like they could see some weakness in this boat here, but unfortunately, like you said, a good call on that ley line, and you know, the Polish team right now, they're the ones setting the pace tactically. Well, this shot just giving you some idea as to how close we are to Alicante City, right in front of the shoreline. We've got spectator boats out in the water, we've got people in the harbour as well, but for these sailors right now, the only thing that matters is working to hold on to the lead. Mark III now coming into view for Wind Whisperer Racing Team. A left-hand turn going onto that upwind course. We've got the masthead code 0 up at the moment, and there doesn't seem to be any movement to get it away. So now, turning at the bottom, Mark III Wind Whisperer Racing Team. They were leading off the line, leading at every single turn, and now as we go into the final stages of lap 1, their lead has stretched. Well, the breeze was always going to be a big question today, and it is going a little bit lighter, and this is going to be a big headache now for Merpuri Foundation Racing Team. Earlier on in the race, they were vying for first place. That battle seems to be long over. Wind Whisperer Racing Team has already through the finish line of lap 1. They are now on to lap 2, but right now the Portuguese team are under pressure. They are having to pinch to get round Mark IV on their windward hip. Team Yayo is coming in with pace with the masthead code 0, the bigger sail. They can't point as high, but they've got the speed, and you can see the Dutch team bearing down on them all the time. Paolo Merpuri at the back of the boat, trying desperately to keep the boat going. He can steer to the right, pinch higher, but the speed will bleed out of everything, and then he will slip sideways. Right now, they look set to have just enough pace to get round this mark, but it's really going to hurt them. And as they go onto this long reach, they are going to have the Dutch on their windward side. Meanwhile, not stuck in the same quagmire is Wind Whisperer Racing Team. They are coming up to Mark 8 at the bottom of the course, but of course, that is where the finish line is. We have got the turning mark with the white square, and then just towards the top of your picture, the finishing rib there. They are incredibly close to that line, but Wind Whisperer Racing Team, it might actually take them a little bit of time to get there. And I mean, you've done a lot of racing here, Sam. That finish line is right in front of them, but I bet that they are still nervous.
Yeah, because the fat lady's not singing yet, and you're never relaxed until that line is crossed, and I'm sure there's still 100% concentration on board that boat. They'll be doing everything they can to get across the line as soon as possible.
On board with Wind Whisperer Racing Team right now, and if they're not already doing it, there's going to be so much to draw from this race, because one of the things about the ocean race and offshore sailing in general, you see everything. You'll see these conditions again around the racetrack.
Yeah, exactly. And every day you learn something when you're out sailing, so they'll be making the most of this as practice for the next, well, for the leg that's coming up.
Wind Whisperer Racing Team coming across the finish line. They led off the start line in lap 1. Lap 2 was all about the light airs, but the Polish team managed to hold their nerve, and they claim the maximum 6 points in the first import race for the VO65 Sprint Cup.